And now I'm seeing why the Roma fans they were lighting up flares. They were doing everything. I saw some fans were crying. I saw some people were even throwing their bra. I was like, damn, you know what I mean? He's gonna eat in this country, you know what I'm saying? Welcome back to FTBL Culture. It's your boy CultureCams. They got me doing this straight after United hold 6 to Man City. So I'm a bit wounded. I'm not gonna lie, I'm hurting. But just because I'm hurting doesn't mean you guys shouldn't like, share, subscribe, and turn the notifications on. Because in this episode, I'm gonna talk about some real men. Actually, first and foremost, let me talk about Jose Mourinho, how much of a G he is. Watching the game, he was suspended, so he was watching the game in some random bus outside the San Siro, and he watched his team win 2-1 without him even being there. But if you guys haven't seen it, just type in Jose Mourinho into Twitter. You will see him just vibing with, what is it, the bus boy, the driver, some locals. No, mate, because you know he's a legend around there, so he's good in them hoods. He is good in them hoods, let me tell you that. So, but he just sat there and enjoyed his team win 2-1. So that was a hilarious moment. Jose Mourinho on Instagram is one of the best things to ever happen. I'm telling you that now. But there was one goal scorer in that game, and he goes by Paulo Dybala. Listen, you might have forgotten about this guy because he went from wonder kid to, yeah, he's next up. He might be in Ballon d'Or contention one day, to just kind of, you just kind of forgot about him. He just kind of became a little bit washed. He was going through that moment like Isco went through, that Asensio. They kind of go through this moment where you're just like, kind of total irrelevancy. But Jose Mourinho signed him this summer, and he got signed and he had a hero's welcome. He sat on the top, he was just looking. I was like, yo, you're doing all this for Paulo? Like, damn, like, bruh, he ain't worth all that. But so far, with 5 goals in 9 games, 4 in the league and 7 appearances, he's actually exploded at Roma. And Juventus, who are not doing so well, must be looking at it like, why didn't we tie this guy down? And it just led me to think, Jose Mourinho actually maybe gets a little bit of a harsh, should I say harsh rep? Like, you know, you look at Jose and you say, oh, defensive manager, you know what I mean? Like, oh, everyone struggles to play under him. He can't do it with them. But Mandem and players actually score bags of goals under Jose Mourinho. He has a knack with his attacking players. But I'm going to go all the way back to when Jose Mourinho first made his name. The treble-winning Porto team, Champions League winning Porto team. He had Benny McCarthy. Listen, some of you might not even know about Benny McCarthy. Well, he's actually United's coach at the moment. You know what I mean? So he needs to get Sancho and them man firing. But Benny McCarthy, when they won the Champions League, he scored 25 goals in 2003, 2004. Don't think he hit that level ever again. That is the season that if you look at Benny McCarthy, you remember. It's that season. And at that point, I'm not going to lie, I didn't really know too much about him. I just saw this gunman for Porto, and I was like, okay, I got to stand up and take notice. Now, if I move on to the next man, Didier Drogba. Look, he grabbed him from Marseille. If anyone, a real heritage people, you remember Drogba against Newcastle. I think it might have been the UEFA Cup, and he scored them headers. But from there, he actually put Drogba on the map, if we're being honest. You know, 2 great seasons in the beginning when they won the league, that 04-05 Chelsea, 05-06. And then that explosive season when he scored 20 league goals, won the Golden Boot. We know what he's done with Didier Drogba. I don't have to say too much. So that's another one. Okay, you guys might look at it and think, oh, you know, big men. Now let me move it on to Diego Milito. Production in here, I got production behind me. This is their favorite player. This is the first season they started watching football. So you got Diego Milito. Listen, he had a decent career, Milito. You know, he's a good player. But that season, you know which one I'm talking about. 09-010, when Inter, again, another treble under Jose Mourinho. What did he go and do? 30 goals that season, scored in every deciding game. So when it was to win the league, he scored. Cup, he scored. Champions League final, I'll give you a brace. He had one of the all-time seasons for a striker that I've seen in the modern game. And somehow, he'd even get nominated for the Ballon d'Or nominations. That is absolutely wild. But that's another season where an attacker has thrived and had their best season under Jose Mourinho. okay, cool, I've just given you strikers, you know, I've just given you only strikers so far. And you can maybe say Dybala's in that kind of SS kind of role. Maybe you don't really know what role he plays. He can go on the wing, can play out front, he can play in the 10, whatever. So I'll give you Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo. Someone where there's so much reports that say Ronaldo and Jose, they didn't really get along, you know, they had their issues. But he devised a plan at Real Madrid, especially in 11-12 season, where they were one of the most devastating teams on the counter I've ever seen in my life. Once that man started going, it was peak. Benzema's that way, Ronaldo's that way, even Kaká was running this way, Ozil, it was peak. And do you know how many goals Ronaldo scored that season? That was the first time he broke the 60 goal barrier. He hit 60 goals. I mean, even in his great form that he's gone on to do, I think he's only broke 60 one time since then. Again, that's another goal scorer. I'm going to move to players who are mavericks, should I say. The creative aspect, the flair men. I'm going to give you Mesut Ozil. In 11-12, again, that season, that is probably the best Mesut Ozil season I've seen. He went on to have some decent seasons at Arsenal, but 7 goals, 28 assists in the 11-12 season when they finally recaptured the league off Barcelona. He was different level. I'm talking about arguably one of the greatest playmakers, out-and-out playmakers I've ever seen. And that peak form came under Jose Mourinho. I mean, I can list off so many names. You look at Eden Hazard. Look, yes, Hazard has always been a great player. You know, we remember them seasons at Lille. We remember what he did when he first came into the Premier League. But when he took that jump where it was like, okay, we have a world-class player on our hands. This is one of the best players in the world. This is the best player in the Premier League. Was under Jose Mourinho. Again, 14-15 season, Eden Hazard, Player of the Year. Thank you very much. Champions, we're back. I can even reel off Diego Costa, Harry Kane, top goal scorer and top assister in the same season. Under what manager? Jose Mourinho. So now my question is, can Dybala fall into the long line of great attackers under Mourinho? Like, imagine if he brings him back. At the moment, Roma are actually flying. They're 4th in the table and only 4 points off the actual top of the table. So it's doing an absolutely impressive job. And I'm here to say, Real is back in style. If Jose Mourinho can bring back the gold for Roma, he already did with a little conference. I would say that's a bronze. He brought back the bronze, yeah, for Roma last season with the Conference League. If he can bring back the gold, the Scudetto at Roma, come on, man. Like, listen, some people might say, well, the Serie A is done out here. We're talking about, for me, he's already a top 3 manager I've ever seen. But certain man, if he wins the Scudetto, certain man, I might have to change my list because I cannot imagine other managers going and winning the Scudetto with Roma. I just can't. But who's going to be a key in that is Dybala. So far, his link-up play has been brilliant. He's been exciting. And now I'm seeing why the Roma fans were lighting up flares. They were doing everything. I saw some fans were crying. I saw some people were even throwing their bra. I was like, damn. You know what I mean? He's going to eat in this country. You know what I'm saying? But in this city. But now, honestly, like, if he can get the best out of Dybala, that is a seriously, seriously impressive thing. And it would really knock back what people say about him. He can't improve players. So far, I'm seeing an improved player. He can't work with flair players. So far, I'm seeing Dybala being able to express himself. What Jose Mourinho is doing at the moment in Italy is righting all the wrongs that maybe people can say that he was doing before, but he's changing the narrative. In fact, he's controlling the narrative. Put respect on Jose Mourinho's name. And listen, I know, as I said, I've disrespected him as well. But real men always prevail. And I'm going to stand on that. Jose Mourinho might as well be the CEO. And we saw what he did the other day. In the Stormzy video. Come on, listen, let me not even do a Jose thing. Because if I go too much on Jose, I'm going to be here forever. That was another episode of FTBL Culture. I'm just wanted to put a little bit of light on Dybala. Put some damn respect on Jose's name. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. As you can see, I'm still wounded. listen, I'm surprised these guys even got me out here doing this. But lastly, because you're saying about the little merch me up now, you know what I mean? I need a hat. I need a jumper, it's getting cold. I need a coat. What else do I need? I need some gloves. Listen, if you guys even want to give me a tracksuit, you give me a tracksuit. But listen, guys, that was another episode. Turn on your notifications, like, share, subscribe. I'm CultureCams, and I'm out.